my name is Ed Stowe Jr., and I'm a member of the Fairfield County Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and the vice chair of the scholarship committee. And we are providing scholarships to Black men who are going to be attending colleges.
Okay, and what is the criteria for a young man to qualify to get a scholarship?
The criteria is, well, community service, obviously good character, and we're looking for someone with a 2.8, as close to 3.0 as possible minimum. Somebody who's motivated, somebody who's really doing a lot of things, and maybe is not getting all the recognition they maybe deserve.
And I'm quite sure a lot of them don't even know how to go about reaching out to see if scholarships are available to them. So how do they apply for a scholarship with your fraternity?
They would go to our website, zetaphi-lambda.com,
Okay.
and apply right on there. And it's an annual scholarship. So, so every time we are offering it comes around this time of year every year.
Okay, and how many scholarships do you give out?
We generally give out 3, sometimes it's 4. It's 3 to 4 depending on, the year.
And is it a scholarship that, what does it pay for? Or is it a scholarship just to make sure these young men have some money in their pockets?
It's really to give them a little bit of money to help them out as they're going. Sure. They're $2,500, which we just raised it up. It used to be, it's been like 1,000 in the past, so we just raised it up. And
well, that's a significant amount. I think any young man, I know when I was in college, someone handed me $1,500. I would have been very, very happy. So
yes.
Now, does accepting this scholarship, does it come with strings? Do they have to join your fraternity or anything other than just being a good student and doing the other things like community service and so forth?
No, there's no obligation to join a fraternity. Obviously, we'd love it if they were interested, but no, there's no obligation to do that. And what we're trying to do is maintain contact with them. Last couple of years, we've had former recipients come in and actually speak at the award ceremony, which is something we would have maintained, but obviously last year we had to do it very different.
Because of COVID.
Yeah, because of COVID. But prior to that, we actually have a brunch. And they come there, and we actually had it at a really nice country club. And there's food, there's music, and speeches. And we'd like to have the young men come, and speak. And we've had former recipients come speak also.
Now, when I talked to you previously, you said that it was sometimes hard to find young men to give these scholarships to.
Yes.
Why do you think it's so hard?
I think it's a twofold process. One, I think they probably don't know that the scholarship is available. So we're trying to promote that. And then a lot of it is follow through. Some of the people just haven't been applying.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason for that is, some of these things, people tend to think it's going to be so difficult. It's going to be a long trudge to do this or do that before, and then you don't know if you're even going to be successful in getting it. I don't think people understand it's just a matter of an application, talking with someone, and it's a pretty simple and easy process based on what you're telling me.
Well, I mean, we're only giving out 4, but to apply for it, it doesn't take any more effort than filling out the application online. I mean, there's an essay, but anything worthwhile, you put a little effort into.
$2,500. I think you can put a little effort into.
I would think they should.
Yeah. I would think you would want to. Well,
yes.
What can you tell me about belonging to a fraternity? Do you think that helps create better and more rounded men by joining a fraternity and becoming part of what that fraternity is about?
Most definitely. Our fraternity initially started out as a study group for Black men at Cornell University in 1906. And they found it as a support system for each other. And as the years have gone on, it got larger and larger and larger and became international. And some significant people have joined our fraternity. Dr. Martin Luther King, former New York City Mayor David Jenkins.
Those are legacies that you can be
Yeah,
proud
Supreme
of.
Court Justice Thurgood Marshall.
Wow, okay. That's those are pretty significant men who've made some pretty significant contributions to this
Yeah,
country. So I
yeah.
mean, that's a legacy you guys should definitely just be very proud of. What are some of the things that you do as a fraternity for the betterment of the community?
We do a lot of community service, actually. Now, I joined in college, but then after college, I've been more active in the graduate chapter. Here in Fairfield County, we do a lot of mentoring programs. We've done programs to feed the homeless. We've also done something where we've helped out with back to school with backpacks for kids. We've done Christmas giveaways, and we've also done feeding feeding veterans who are down. So there's several things that we do.
So maybe I should give you a call. I'm a veteran.
Oh yeah. What branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Navy. I was
Oh,
in the
fantastic.
Navy, and I can say that being a veteran has always served me well, and it's one of the things that I wish some of these young men would do is join the service, because I believe that a lot of the problems we have are they never leave the area that they're in, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
see what else is out here, and that there are plenty of Black men who are successful and doing good things. So I think that that is one of the reasons why I always urge young men, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a plan right now, join the service. You'll see the world. You'll just have a better understanding of life, so to speak.
I
So
wholeheartedly agree, and thank you for serving. I have a cousin that's in the Air Force. I have another one that's in the Army. Yeah, and he wasn't sure. College wasn't what he was really, geared for, and he went in the service, and he's doing quite well. He's doing quite well.
now, what are you finding that some of the young Black men are there more Black men going to college now than ever before? I know that Black women far exceed us going to college and so forth, but it looks like Black men
Yeah,
are
yeah.
beginning to turn the corner and coming up a little bit. What have you seen?
I think they are going more. I'm more of an optimist. So when I spoke to you before, we only hear bad news, but I think
Right.
there's more good news than bad news.
Yes, I do
We're only
too.
hearing about the ones who aren't going. I think the ones that are going, they're not getting publicized. A couple of friends of mine who are in sororities, Black sororities, kind of told me about young men they knew who were headed to college, and they wanted me to speak to these men, just to, these young men graduated from high school, doing
Right.
the right thing. I've friended them on Facebook. I talk to them every now and then. So I think they are going. We just don't hear about it.
We just don't hear about it. Yeah, the media, and I am part of that. I am part of the media, and they tend to always zero in on the crime,
Mm-hmm.
the absent father, all the negative things about Black men, and there's just too many positive things about Black men that are just not brought to the forefront. Now, like my nephew, which I talked to you about, he is going to an all Black college. In
Mm.
order for young men to get this scholarship, do they have to attend a Black university
No,
or
it
any
doesn't matter the
university?
college they apply to.
Can they go to a 2-year college first and then on to a 4-year college? Can they go to community college first and then on?
Yeah, once you apply, I mean, you get the scholarship based on your achievements.
Okay.
So it's not based on where you're headed, it's based on what you've done, as
Okay.
long as you're headed to college.
Okay, can you tell us the address or where they would apply the website? Can you just tell us what that website is?
Sure, it's Zeta Phi Lambda, ZetaPhiLambda.com. And the scholarship application is on that website.
Is on that website.
Yes.
Well, Ed, I
And
do
it's
appreciate
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. I'm sorry.
that's that's okay. Well, listen, is there anything that you want to talk about or anything you want to add here?
Oh, definitely. I think that we need to publicize the Black men that are doing the right thing. We had this conversation when we spoke on the phone.
Right.
I do think there probably are more Black women going to college, but that doesn't mean that the Black men who are going don't deserve attention.
Do you have any indication of what some of the young Black men who are going to college are studying? Because I noticed that many women go into social services.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to go into social services. Is it the same with Black men? Do they tend to lean toward fields that are in sociology or?
Well, the ones that have been awarded the scholarships, a lot of them are. Some of them are going into medicine. Some are going into engineering. Some technology. Um,
And I think those are good fields, and they're definitely fields that I would like to see more Black men in. I quite frankly, I'm one of those people. I would like to see less Black people in the social services and in
yes.
more right? And in more fields. I know that when I was going to college and I was in my 20s and so forth, social services was the big thing. But of course, if you went into
Mm-hmm.
social services, you didn't earn any money. Just like
Yeah,
those
at all.
just like those of us who went into journalism, we didn't earn any money, you know. But so I would like to see young Black men just branch out into other fields. There is a man right now who wants me to do a podcast on the field of drones, and he says
Mm.
what is a wide open field for young men. But my problem with that is that there's a charge for this service, for learning and so forth. And I tend
Oh,
not to like to push, you know,
yeah, yeah.
it's a good field, fine, but I don't want to push your business. You know,
Right.
I don't want to say that per se that I don't want to push your business. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to tell young Black men do this, and then it turns out it's not really a good thing for them, because I believe that we have to take positive, careful steps. You know,
Right.
too many Black men go into things and then find out that it's not what they thought. They become
Mm-hmm.
very depressed, and then they stop and don't move on. So
Yes.
so I do think that there are some fields out here that young Black men should explore, and I eagerly tell them, explore some of these alternative options other than social services.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I wish my nephew, but he's going to study psychology. He wants
Wow.
to study
Well, he could do
psychology.
well there. He could do well there.
He could do well there, and I think it's one of the things I push for is more mental health services for Black kids. Because many Black kids just grew up in very traumatic situations. They're seeing gunshots and people's bodies on the ground and so forth. And I just think that there's definitely a need there for mental health. Does your fraternity ever hold like group sessions for young Black men to talk about different fields and so forth?
We actually are doing that now. We're doing some videos on that, and I can let you know how to access those later. I'll talk to the chairman in charge of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are doing interviews with people in certain fields because we have a very diverse group of men in this chapter.
And I think that's important. I think that's important, particularly for a lot of young Black men, to see Black men in these different fields that are just not associated with Black men. Too many of us are, quite frankly, associated with McDonald's and fast food and
Yes.
nonsense. It's I was senior editor at the New Haven Register. That I retired in that position, But I would talk to people and I would say, they said, what do you do? What kind of work do you do? I work for the New Haven Register. Oh, and they automatically assumed I was in delivery. Automatically assumed I was delivering papers
Wow.
or, and so forth. And when I would say that, no, I'm the senior editor of the paper, they say, oh, good for you. I want to get away from that type of thing where we're in these different fields. People are shocked. It shouldn't be a
Yes.
shock. We all go to the same schools, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is your son. And I guess that's what they call photo bombing. Is that
Yeah, he's photo bombing.
You
I'll
have
talk to you later, buddy.
you have to keep up with these expressions
Yes.
and so forth. So I guess you're going to make sure that young man has a scholarship to go.
Oh yes, he likes to read and he likes math and he loves school. So we caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, that's good. How many kids do you have?
Just him.
Just him.
And I had him late. I had him at 49.
Yeah, but I have to be frank. I think in a lot of cases, it's much better for you to have done what you want to do before you start having kids. I think that is just so important.
This is James Walker.
Hi, how you doing?
My wife Sarah.
Hi, nice meeting you. Okay.
Nice meeting you as well.
All right. So you got the whole family there.
Yeah.
Everybody's checking you out.
I left the door open, so there's no, what are you doing?
Yeah, it can come to that. I know it can come to that.
Yeah.
Well, my podcast runs about 18 to 20 minutes, and I think we're at that time already. So is there anything else you want to move on to? Anything else you want to sum this up in any kind of way?
I would just like to say that we would love to help those young men who are striving for advanced education. Positive role models are definitely what we're looking for, and we'd love to support them. And we do try to stay in contact with them while they're in school. The other thing is we need to hear more positive stories about Black men. We do.
Yes, we do. We do. We need more positive stories about Black men. And
that's what prompted me to call you.
I'm going to actually reach out to some of the teachers that I know, and just tell them what you've told me and say, listen, they've got 3 to 4 scholarships that are available, and I'm going to urge them to find the young Black men who could possibly compete for this and get in touch with your organization through the website. Now, is it only the website, or do you guys have a contact person that people can talk to, or do you just prefer they go through?
We prefer you go through the website.
Okay.
Because our deadline is actually coming up. We just extended it to April 10th.
Oh.
But this is an annual thing.
Okay.
So if they have some kids who weren't able to apply this year, we always have next year and the year after and the year after.
Okay.
So this is something I want to promote every single year.